rescue stage, Scott Bakula. There he is. Hi, Dad.
Oh boy is right. I'm so mad at you, son.
I only saved the world a couple times, whatever. Hey, everybody. Oh, look at all the cameras. But who has questions? That's the question. Oh, boom, right there. Question right here in the front.
Hey, there we are.
We're right there. I know. We're here and we're
Technology has come a long way.
meta, baby.
In just 5 years.
No, don't be nervous.
No, you two are my favorite.
Well, you have excellent
Both of
taste.
You're starting. You're starting well.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm a dork. I'm so nerd. I apologize. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My question would be if you had the ability as Sam to be able to put right what once went wrong, and I know everyone says, oh, don't change anything because it's where you are, but just hypothetically or even through history, what would you choose to put right?
Ooh.
Wrong? And you can answer it too if you
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
He's my son, so theoretically he can time travel also, I guess.
Absolutely.
You work on.
By the way, the one of the shows I've always wanted to remake or reboot is Quantum Leap. That's what I've always wanted. One of my favorite shows.
You should do it.
I was actually I was in the back. We'll get back to your question in a second, but I'd love to. I don't know that's going to happen. But I was genuinely, I was standing in the back in the parking garage when Scott came in, and I gave him a hug, and he went inside, and I was kind of sitting back there, and it just kind of dawned on me. I was like, holy crap! I literally, as a kid, idolizing you, watching.
You're still a kid.
I know, I'm still a kid.
Come on,
right?
you.
Stop. And you walked in, and you walked in, and I stood there thinking, like, holy crap, like, what a cool life I have. That the people that I grew up watching and admiring, and still watch and still admire, that you're my friend. Like, it totally blew my mind. I was like, that's fucking Scott Bakula who just came in here. That's so crazy.
What blew my mind was that this homeless guy attacked me in the garage, and I'm like, oh, it's Zach. He's like over here, like, Scott. He's coming at me like this. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
I probably
guy.
shouldn't have led with, hey, buddy, can I get $1? Throws people off.
Should have taken the needle out of your arm at least before you came. It was very weird. Because it wasn't like you saw him from afar. He came from behind, against the wall where cars were parked.
I'm a ninja, brah. So
I got it.
Right or wrong? So right or wrong?
Okay.
What would you do? What wrong would you?
Well,
right?
the obvious thing. There's two things. Well, then when you start, then you can't stop, because there's so many things. I'd uninvent automatic rifles, and then I'd nominate somebody else from the Republican side. That's so obvious. Yeah, and then when I say somebody, I mean anybody.
Anyone.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We've been talking about this throughout the weekend. It is the state of the world. And if I could right a wrong,
Tony Award? See, we are father and son because we share the same failure there.
What? Well, you and
I failed too.
Well, that's not a failure.
It's a nomination with a fail at the end of it.
Yeah, but it's still, it's still part of our name for the rest of our life. Apparently.
Failure. Loser.
Loser.
How is this getting better?
Almost won.
The good news is you get over it. I mean, Michael Crawford, big deal. Leslie Odom, no, you lost to.
No, I know it's a Leslie. Leslie.
Yeah, big deal. Like that show's gonna work. She Loves Me has legs, man. Come on.
Thank you. It was really great of you to come and see it. Aren't you glad you opened up that box? If I could right or wrong, it would be making
I'd
sure
come see your
that
show.
Scott Bakula came and saw She Loves Me. Yeah. Next question. That one. Not your hand right there. Yep.
What,
yep.
did you answer the question?
I did. That you would come and see my fucking show.
Oh, I answered the question for him. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Scott, first say my dad loves New Orleans, and he told me I have to tell you. So I was
The show or just the city of New Orleans?
the show.
Okay, good. The city's fantastic too.
I've never been. So. So I was wondering what characteristics or things you look for in the roles when you're looking for them, and also if you guys feel like recreating anything that happened 5 years ago, we won't complain.
I don't know what you're
about
talking about. You want to answer that? What the question?
Yes, I know. Yes. You've totally thrown me off.
I know. Actually, what was the question? Because I was so enthralled with you.
I was
trying to get
thinking,
us to
why doesn't
recreate
she have a
something.
Quantum Leap shirt on? Why is she wearing a nerd shirt? Where am I? What happened?
Would you like to tell him where he is? Where is he? That's why she's wearing a nerd shirt. What was the question again?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Oh.
I have always tried to look for something different. So I try. It's a stupid idea, but I try not to repeat things as much as I can. Or if it's something is similar, I think about how can I make it different. So I'm always looking for something that'll challenge me. So and that goes from extremes to like years ago. I did a CBS movie of the week, and I had two choices. I could play this sick man who shot a 15-year-old girl in a field, or I could play the father of the girl who was killed. And CBS said, you know, do what you want to do. And I picked the guy that killed the girl because I just couldn't imagine what that would be like to get ready for that, to do that. So I kind of do that. And then in terms of series, I try to pick something, if I'm lucky enough to pick something, that will entertain me or interest me for a long period of time. So it's just something that's, I like characters that have problems, that have issues, that have room to improve who they are or go on a journey that I think an audience would like to then go with a character.
When we sign up for TV shows, network television shows, you're basically signing a 7-year contract. So if that show does well enough, you got to know I'm potentially committing to this for at least 7 years of my life. And so it's not like just if there's a film that comes around, you're like, oh, I could play this, and you only got to play that for a couple of months. You really have to want to play a role in television, either creatively or because you really fucking need the money. That also helps in some decision
Wait, can
making.
you say need the money?
Actually, I can't legally. So yeah, it's a big. You gotta go. Am I gonna like playing this person for potentially 7 years? Yes, right here. Microphone, microphone.
Hello. I had a question about Star Trek Enterprise. Yes. So why do you think that it never found the audience that maybe you were hoping for and the network was hoping for and I was hoping for? Also, please tell me that Porthos is still around.
You have to talk to Mr. Abrams about that.
Fair enough.
I think he killed my dog. Something else I'm over. You know, you got to learn to let things go. What did I get to do? Only 5 episodes with you?
I don't know. Actually, we could ask the Chuck. Was it 5?
5? 5 or 6?
You knew exactly.
5 or 6?
Exactly 5.
5?
5.5.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't leave. You get written out of these things, really, is what happens. But I'm over that also.
But you're not holding on to
No,
it.
I'm letting go. This is my new thing. We don't have time for me to really answer that question, but I will say this. A, no other franchise in the television world, except for the original, was on network television, which is different than being on syndicated television. Syndication, we would have done 7 years, and it wouldn't have been a conversation. There were about 6 people that got fired during that time, including an entire network and studio being bought by Viacom and Sumner and all of that insanity, and then everybody involved was fired. That loved Star Trek at Paramount, they were all let go. So those are kind of small things. We were rushed into becoming a TV show and bringing this idea to life because UPN, if you don't remember, but they had just been invented and created by Kerry McCluggage, who was the head of television at Paramount. It was his baby that he'd gone all over the country, and I'd known him because he was the head of television at Universal when I did Quantum Leap. He'd gone all over the country and put together a network, which was pretty cool to be able to do, and then you had to put shows on the network. And he wanted our show to be the anchor of that network. So instead of giving the audience and giving the world a little time to breathe, they finished Voyager, and let's let 6 months, 8 months, or a year go by. They literally, we started shooting 2 weeks after Voyager wrapped. So our crew just came over, their crew came over, which their crew was Deep Space's crew, which was Next Gen's crew, some of those people. So they all rolled over and we just kept going. So there was no time to miss Star Trek, which also helps sometimes. I just think that it was, we were in a strange place at a strange time, and it didn't stop us from working our tails off, and we have a pretty decent following around the world. I always said that the show would gain in popularity as time went on, as opposed to when we were on, in the confusing time that we were on. That seems to be the case. I mean, I think the show only got better, and that by halfway through the second season to the end, season 4, we kicked ass, and we're still talking about it. So I appreciate the question, though. Thank you. And I'm not crazy about your hat, though. Being a St. Louis Cardinal fan, I'm not crazy about the Pittsburgh Pirates, but pretty much every year, I know, but yeah. You got the cup, though, this year, so what do you want? We don't have any cups in St. Louis for the Blues. I'm over that, though. I sound like a bitter old man. Are you listening to me?
Oh, I'm hearing it.
Stop me.
We're just going to call the Scott Bakula panel like therapy with Bakula from now on. No, tell me how you really feel. No, get it out. Oh, if you
I had 5 years to build up. A lot of upset.
If you could...
I could have been in She Loves Me. There was a part for me in that show, but anyway. No.
What?
What?
Oh. Did they offer you a role in that?
Oh, no. Did you hear how he read that? He was like in shock. Did they offer you a role in that?
No, why? See how he twists things. If
you heard the reading.
I was sitting here while you were talking about Enterprise, and I was.
While you were sleeping.
I was sleeping totally. So how boring. And I was wondering. Well, A, how fucking cool is it that you actually get to be a captain forever? You're a captain, number one, but number two, right? Isn't that awesome? But then the other thing I was thinking, because I've been a Star Trek fan for a long time, but all the different iterations are so different. Outside of Enterprise, if you could be on one of the other iterations of Star Trek, what would it be?
Oh, the first one.
Oh, really? Copy that. Awesome. I would be Voyager. Not that you asked. I just think it's so awesome.
Do you want me to ask you some questions?
Yeah, please.
Oh.
No.
No,
Yes, you. Right over here.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, this is such a great room. All these faces are so happy. They're so excited to be here. So nice to see you all.
Hi, I'm Sandy, and I've been a fan of yours for over 25 years. First time I saw you was at the, when you were on Leap, they had a Quantum Leap convention at the Sheraton Universal, and 25 years ago.
When you guys were both 5.
I bought this sweatshirt, and I would love to donate $50 if I could get you to sign it.
Of course.
Yeah, awesome.
I'll be happy to
Thank
sign
you.
that.
Thank you very much. You can just hand that down to the volunteers, and I'll sign it too.
I'll be happy to.
Of course, absolutely.
And then my question is, I mean, I have my favorite episodes of Quantum Leap.
Which is what?
The one when it was one of the Vietnam ones, and it was the one where at the end, Sam or Al turns around as the prisoner of war.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yep. You can hardly talk about it, can you?
And then always the ones when you pop in as a woman. I mean, those were those are always at the top of the list.
Yeah.
So,
If I had a nickel.
so my question is, of all the characters that you leaped into,
Yes.
do you have a favorite or?
You know, I have a variety of favorites for different reasons. It sounds weird to say that I liked popping into myself the most, but the leap home where I went back as a young Sam was awesome. But I you know, the La Mancha episode, because I like to sing, you know, and so. And that was with a great cast, and that was unique. I had a special place in my heart for all the Jimmy episodes when I leaped in as Jimmy, and but those are kind of in terms of the characters. But there were so many unique lives that I was able to look at, you know, and. I was just having this conversation with some guys on the set yesterday, and we were talking about, because I'm shooting in New Orleans, which is down the road from Baton Rouge, and there's a lot of stuff, as you all know, going on down there. And we were just talking about, it was the band that was playing for us, and just talking about how great it would be, and when they were talking about quantum, you know, I love Quantum Leap growing up. Just how the simpleness of that show of just looking at somebody else's life or lives through their eyes, the simplicity of that, which makes the show have legs and be around today, because it's a universal feeling. We all feel it when you walk by and see somebody and you have an opinion about them, or if you were them. You know, and if you break it down, it's such a simple concept. It's, you know, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes and do unto others as you would have. I mean, you can go, these aren't new ideas, but they're so relevant and so, that's what made that show just stand out, because Don didn't run away from that. We just embraced that idea, you know, as entertainment, but underneath it all, it was, you know, how do you feel about I played the rape victim, you know, I don't remember who that character was, but I know that I was in that story, and that, you know, that same, we all know people that have had abuse issues or whatever, and so, you know, as opposed to sitting out and judging, how do we feel about, well, you shouldn't have been there, or you shouldn't have had a gun in your back pocket, and that's, you know, all those things, like, stop doing that. One of my PAs on the set, he's African-American dude from New Orleans. He's been pulled over in his life around 80 times and cited 3 times. And, you know, we used to sit around and say, well, that can't be true. That never happens to me. Duh. You know? So anyway, so that show was just full of that all the time. When the first gay young man that I played in the military, you know, and at the end of that episode, Dean and I are looking at each other, well, what? Is he gay? Was he gay? And he's like, does it matter? Boom, I'm out. You know? It's such a simple thing. But I say that and I get chills just thinking about how effective that simplicity was in our terrible effects that we had back then and all this stupid stuff, you know. Freeze, and Dean would run in and all he get, unfreeze. You know. I can break this here. I just did on the hiatus, I did a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Awesome.
I'm showing that. And I played, it's a musical. So next year, and they said I can talk about it. So anyway, we were doing the technology again. And I was like getting ready to explain to them, we did a mirror shot. And I was like, well, you know, so if you just angle the camera this way and then you shoot over his shoulder and then I'll be in the mirror looking at him. And they were like, we don't need to do that. We don't do that anymore. Just stand there. We'll fix it. You don't have to turn the mirror a certain way and angle the thing. No, just stand there and talk. We'll fix it all up. And I was like, old people. Anyway, thanks for the question. It's so sad, though.
I mean, literally, our
it's so
phones,
embarrassing.
our phones can put monkey faces on our faces now. I mean, I would hope that we can take somebody out of a beer on a television screen. Yes, right.
For
down here.
free.
For free.
Yeah,
I know, right?
In 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spent 4 hours doing it. Just one more time.
Hi,
Hi.
thank you for being here. So I think I share a dream with Zach that is a Quantum Leap remake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He would be great, incidentally. Wouldn't be a great Sam
Yeah.
Beckett? Just putting it out there.
Thank you very much.
He's a little tall. I'm just saying. Every picture I see of you and me. Like, gee. And then
But
some
he's
of them.
not holding
me-
on to it.
Yeah,
He's not
no.
holding on to it.
Then it's me and Zach and Chevy, and it's like, who is the little old guy in the picture? Oh, it's me.
So you would like to see it rebooted also? I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
I
help
mean-
you work through this stuff. I'm just, if we don't move
that's
on,
good,
then you're
that's
going to
good.
sit in it.
You got it. You read my.
They don't
mind.
even have to ask questions. I could just spewed him. Carrie Fisher. That's a Carrie Fisher word. Spewed him. That's true. Do with it what you want. I bet you want to finish asking your question. From this light, it looks like your hair is green on top. Did you do a green thing? No. Okay, it's cool.
Maybe I will now.
It's kind of cool. You know
Scott
what I'm
Bakula just told you to make your hair green.
All
Make your
right.
hair green.
I'm doing it. All right.
I mean,
saying? You know what I'm saying, though?
I know what you're saying.
It's a nice thing.
Now, yeah.
It's
Okay.
backlit. It's a nice little backlit. It's the rim thing. It's fantastic.
It's special.
And your question is?
Yeah. Well, you already answered the first half of it, which was in a remake, who would you think of as Sam? But I need to know who would be Al.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Josh Gad,
Gomez.
who did you say? Josh who?
Josh Gomez.
All right.
That guy's dead to me. I don't.
That's kind of a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm
Breckin
glad she was here.
Breckin Meyer will be hysterical. He's going to be. Why?
I was thinking Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah, all right. She's got some chops. I mean, she directs, but
Never heard of her.
Okay. She's
No.
too young.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I've thought about it. I've thought about. I mean, just because I've loved the show and I feel like a show like that should be back.
But the
around.
reason he would be great is because he does so much stuff. There's like an advantage to being able to do a lot of different things in that show.
You mean playing different characters and
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, if you just do the movie, then you can just do a one-off and you don't have to have any skills.
Yeah, but that's no.
But for the
So you're implying that I should do the movie version, is what you're saying?
No, not at all. I was saying you have all these skills, so you
I'm
could do.
kidding. I appreciate that. I do. I always thought it'd be a cool idea if.
Are you going to go back and do television?
I'm
Seriously.
I thought you were totally fucking with me right now. You have the perfect
Yeah, I'm
poker
asking you-
face. The poker face of Scott Bakula.
That's my
looks at you
face.
And it's he's either being incredibly sincere or you are totally getting fucked with right now. That's the look on the face. Are you going to do television? Yeah. What's happening?
No, but seriously, because
Oh no. I don't know.
do you live in New York all the time now? No,
I'm back. I was only there doing She Loves Me, but I'm back.
because they were
I'm
like
gonna go work
some
on-
interviews and stuff I read. It's like, oh no, I want to.
I love New York. I'd
want
love
to do
to-
Broadway.
I-
Who's
I-
happier doing musicals than you? Me.
You.
If I ever got asked. Anyway,
I think doing a series in New York would be a lot of fun.
Oh,
I'd like
see,
to
that's
shoot
a-
a
yeah.
show in New York, but
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I don't know. I've been trying to figure out what a new TV idea would be. I just want to do something that's original and different. There's so much television out there, and there's a lot of great television, but there's a lot of just shit. There's just a lot of stuff that honestly I don't think is very special. I don't think it resonates. It's just kind of typical fodder. And oftentimes you look at a billboard, all you need to see is one billboard and you go, pass. That looks like the same stuff I've always seen. But I actually thought it'd be fun if Al was a girl. Like not Jodie Foster, but like if there was almost like they were lovers but the same characters and they can't ever touch each other. So they miss each other but they're always quarreling and feuding and Nobody'd steal my idea. Next question. Oh yeah, right down here.
Hello.
Hi.
I was just wondering if when you got the role of Papa Bartowski, if you knew like how the role would turn out, like if you knew what an important part that you'd play, because I mean you came a long way from being in a trailer in the middle of nowhere where Chuck and Sarah find you, to the end, which is obviously one of the more emotional scenes in the series when you get killed. So I was just curious.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert!
No. I'm sorry. If you haven't seen it, that's on you people.
Yeah,
Wait, I get killed at the end?
I feel like the statute of limitations is run out on that
It's
one.
like-
So,
Okay.
Yeah, how much did you know about Orion before you took the job?
The guys we talked on the phone, and they just told me that vaguely that there was going to be a big thing. Yeah. But I was just happy to come and play with these guys, and it turned out to be a really good choice on my part because it was great fun.
He's so great.
And I got to meet this guy, and the whole group though, they were all so great. And then as a little perk, about 4 or 5 people from Enterprise were working on the show also. So I got to kind of reunite with some of those fellows. So it was all good. But they explained that it was going to start this way, but then we're going to find out this other stuff, and they weren't exactly sure how it was going to work out. But that I don't even know if they used the word Orion at the time. But it was, and then you never know how TV is always kind of flexible that way because they could have also killed me after the first episode too and said he was terrible.
I tried.
It was a terrible idea.
And we'll go over here, right there in the center, right there.
Hi, a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
You mentioned him already. Scott. Anyway.
I assumed as much.
Okay, hey, I bought your shirt. Come on.
I know, thank you.
eBay. Anyway, you mentioned him already. I just want to know if you had any memories that you could share about Dean Stockwell. Just one of my favorite character actors of all time.
He is. The great thing about Dean is that struck me was his enthusiasm for being at work, being a child actor, and being in the business and having kind of 3 careers. We were like, huge success, drove out of the lot. Mickey Rooney was driving in the other way, and everybody was at Mickey Rooney's car. That was the end of his child career. Then, in the teens, and the same thing. Then he's hitchhiking around the country, doesn't know what he wants to do or be. Then he's getting ready to sell real estate, has his license. He's getting ready to pack his family up and move to Arizona or New Mexico. And Harry Dean Stanton calls him, and he's back in the business. And he would always joke, he'd come in the back of the sound stage, and you'd hear him, "The fun starts now!" And it did, In came the stogie, which you can't do anymore.
I know, it's so sad.
But Dean still does, somehow. And, and everywhere time you'd go out of a door and you'd be getting ready to make an entrance, there'd be an old stogie from 6 months ago sitting on the ledge there that hadn't burned the set down, thank goodness. He just had a great joy and a great love for what he did. And he just, that to me said so much because he could have been a bitter guy. He could have, my career, but and he's so talented, so gifted, did so many wonderful roles, starting from his work as a child actor, a young man, and continuing. He's extraordinary. And then he he preached at me about the environment and about this and that and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's go back, let's do this. No, this is more important. And so I learned a lot about life from him also. Thank Thanks for asking about
That's
them. I
awesome.
appreciate that.
That's awesome. Good answer. Good answer. We have time for one more question.
Oh, man.
Who's got the best one?
Oh, yeah.
No pressure, right there, boom. It really better be good. It's Scott Bakula for good.
Well, we could hear the question and then decide.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Kidding.
I'm not.
Okay, actually, this is a follow-up to the question you just answered. Just really enjoying the conversation and the depth of the answers that you provide us.
Oh, thanks.
But I wanted to know but what do you attribute your longevity to? Just thinking about your own career and all of the things that you've done over the years, because this is a multi-generational room here.
Yes.
And so that influence just grows and grows over the years, and I want to know, how do you make it so? Or what do you think of?
That is an excellent question.
But I don't want to answer it. I just don't feel like talking about myself anymore.
Well, there you go. I mean, really, that's.
Wow. I am very fortunate. I've been able to work with, and I've been picked to work with some wonderfully gifted people. And so they're all a part of because I don't write and do my own stuff, I need actors and I need writers and I need people around me. So, and that's what I enjoy the most about what I do. And so I guess that is kind of, one thing has fed each other, and so my experience is shared and passed along and remembered. And because earlier, going back to your question about what do I pick in a role, I pick variety, so I'm always looking for different things. Because I didn't want to because I'm a theater guy first, I always feel like you can do anything you want in the theater. And our business tends to be, they want to jam you into a little hole and say, so they know for sure exactly what you are going to do and be, and they don't have to be surprised. And so I keep trying to surprise and do something different. So I think that's contributed to it. I've just been very, very fortunate. And because I have other loves in my life that I'm not like, I'm only this kind of an actor. I'm like, well, no, I'm not doing anything. I can go to DC and do a musical, or I can go to there and do a play at the Geffen, or what. And I've had an opportunity to do that also. I've had great professional people in my life, great help. They're in the room. My agent, Brian Mann, who's been here for 100 million years. My manager, Tony Lip. Jay Schwartz has been my publicist for 30 years. And, there's something to be said for that. I believe there's something to be said for continuity. And then I've had the good fortune of having unbelievably loyal fans. And so, and that I think is a partnership. And he gets this. You guys are, that's why you're here. But there is a partnership, and that comes from the theater also, because the joy of being here today is for me, don't take it personal, but to seeing him, spending time with him, even though he attacked me in the garage, that's a joy for me. And then this exchange and seeing your faces, and you could be a lot of places and spend your time a lot of different ways. And you're giving me some recognition or some shared awareness that we've gone through a bunch of experiences together. And that's why I perform and why I like what I do, is because every once in a while get to touch and connect and move and shift the universe as we walk through it. That's my answer.
And a great plastic surgeon doesn't hurt either. I mean, really, his guy is the best in town.
Really?
Actually,
You're going to tell people that in front of me while I'm here.
I do. On a serious note, I want to add really quick because our time is up. But I want to add to that just really quick. I'm gonna brag on you for a second.
No.
No.
I've been bragging on myself. That's enough of me.
But to add to that, I do believe that longevity in any career or any vocation in life, in our friendships, our relationships, our business relationships, I really do believe that one of the keys to longevity is our very simple tenets like kindness and light and love. And I can vouch for you that I did not know this man at all when he became my father. Sounds very strange, and yet it's also very true because none of us knew our dad before we came out. If we're being really literal about it. Anyway, but the point is
where is this going?
Bear with me. But day one, he shows up on set, and he was nothing but giving. He was nothing but light. He was nothing but helpful. He was nothing but kind and a part of the solution. And by the way, in Hollywood, that's not always the case. There's a lot of people that are not just part of the solution, they're very much a part of the problem. And then it's like, fuck, not only do I have to do my job, but I gotta cut through all the bullshit of whatever this person is bringing. And Scott he will literally be the guy who's like, how can I help? What can we do? Can we pick this up? Whatever. We'd be having scenes. And by the way, and Chuck was a gnarly show. Like, it was a really hard show to do. And I've talked about it before. I loved it. It was awesome. But he could see it in my eyes. He had that schedule on Quantum Leap. And he could see it in my eyes. And he used to pull me aside sometimes and go, how you doing? Just checking in with you. I know this is crazy, right? It's crazy. And he would tell me about his experience at Quantum Leap. And that stuff, that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And will continue to hopefully always in all of our lives give more longevity, because then people go, I like this person. I want to work with this person. And it helps that he's so fucking talented. So, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Bakula. Keep it going for Scott Bakula, everybody. Get out of here. Seriously though, Dr. Rosen in Beverly Hills, fantastic. Really, really good. Was that fun? Did you guys enjoy that? Dear. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for continuing to support us and coming to Nerd HQ. I hope you guys are having a kick-ass time this weekend. Please continue to have an awesome time in San Diego. Be safe. Keep it safe and keep it nerdy. And there is a dance party tonight at the venue if anybody wants to get their groove on. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye.